So, last night we had the live letter from the producer, E3 2016 edition, and Yoshi P went in depth a lot more about the mechanics of the Palace of the Dead, which will be released in patch 3.35. Talking of the patch, Yoshi P mentioned that this patch will be released within a month, so I'm assuming July 12th will be the release date for 3.35. Yoshi P also talked about FanFest dates and ticket pre-sale orders, but we'll cover those towards the end of the video. So, the Palace of the Dead has two requirements. A. The class job you enter the dungeon in must be level 17 or higher, and B. You must have unlocked the quarry mill area. It's highly recommended that you've completed up to patch 2.4 as well as Tamtara hard mode to understand the story of the Palace of the Dead. To enter the Palace of the Dead, you need to go to Quarry Mill and speak to a new NPC who happens to be a Lancer. The UI screen of the Palace of the Dead is very self-explanatory. At the top, you can see the stats and power of your gear you currently have equipped. The equipment you have for a deep dungeon can only be upgraded within the deep dungeon, and they have no impact on the outside world. Next, each character has 2 save slots which they can use to save their progress, as well as their character level. In this example, you can see that this character is a level 31 White Mage, who is currently saved at floor 21. It's worth noting that your actual class job level outside of the deep dungeon is independent of your level within the deep dungeon. However, you can actually level both within the dungeon. The experience gained within these dungeons is similar to that of doing dungeons in the outside world. When you start the Palace of the Dead, you'll be greeted with a similar duty screen like everything else, but remember, you can only enter the Palace of the Dead through the Quarry Mill. As a solo player, you can either enter completely by yourself, or you can use the auto match system, which matches you with other players who have the same saved progress as yourself. Here, you can see the gear and armor within the deep dungeon. Now, it's unconfirmed whether those glowing weapons are the actual model of the weapons we'll be using within the deep dungeon, or whether these weapons are simply placeholders. On the top right, you can see the interface within the deep dungeon. There's also a level and a gear sync within the dungeon, just like in other instances within the game, so you can't, for example, have a level 50 character within the deep dungeon with maximum item levels and steam through all of the early floors. As you progress through the deep dungeon, you may encounter treasure chests, which can give you many different unique items which everyone in your party has access to. Some chests can give you a map of your current floor, or if you're lucky enough, some of these chests can even upgrade your weapons and armor, or you may accidentally open up a trap. Every 10 floors you'll encounter a boss. You must defeat the boss in order to progress onto the next set of floors. However, if you die, you need to restart back at your last saved location. It's very important, just like in typical Final Fantasy fashion, to continuously save your progress. Each floor has randomly generated rooms, and the further you go within a deep dungeon, the environment drastically changes. Not only this, but some floors have restrictions and handicaps. For example, this floor makes it so all items are unavailable to use, and others will completely disable your sprint. It's not entirely clear how, but sometimes one of the players in your party can even transform into a random monster, and this player can even use the abilities of the monster. For example, if you transform into a succubus, you can actually use Void Fire 2 to AoE, or if you transform into a manticore, you're able to destroy enemies within a single blow. If a character in the dungeon dies, you must go to one of those Ankh shrines. Here, you can resurrect any fallen players within the dungeon. You cannot progress further in the dungeon onto the next floor if any of the players in your current floor have been defeated. Not only this, but in this dungeon, you can actually obtain Phoenix Downs and use them within this dungeon. So all of those useless Phoenix Downs that you have now have a use. If all players are defeated, an unknown character comes out and I assume kicks you out of the dungeon, and you must restart from your previous save. Patch 3.35 will release the first 50 floors, which according to Yoshida will take approximately 3 hours in a full group to complete. However, I assume players are expected to continuously repeat the dungeons over and over to upgrade their gear. The next batch of floors, all the way up to 200, are expected to be released around patch 3.45. Now for other announcements and FanFest information. Firstly, a new Kate Sith plushie doll is available for pre-order as of today. The global sales will begin at Gamescom 2016. On top of this, every purchase or pre-sale for the Kate Sith doll will give you a code for an in-game set of Kate Sith ears. Next, FanFest information. On the screen right now, we can see all of the FanFest dates for Las Vegas, Tokyo and Frankfurt. And the pre-sale tickets for FanFest begin the 21st of June 2016, 12 PM PST, for players who have had an active service account between the 1st of May and the 6th of June. On top of this, for all those who attend either one of the FanFests or purchase a ticket for the online stream, you will receive one of the following in-game minions depending on the event location. And on top of one of the following minions, you also get to select one top secret glamour item for either male or female characters. So that's all of the important information in this live letter. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and let me know your thoughts about the Palace of the Dead in the comment section down below. Also in the description you can find all relevant links, including my Twitch channel, which I'm starting to stream on more frequently. As always guys, thank you for watching, take care, and I'll see you all next time.